The Guilt Marketplace. It came in a vial by mail. There was an injection kit but no instructions. The instructions were on the dark website, The Guilt Marketplace. The first time Alex had done it, he'd used a belt, located a vein on his forearm and injected the entire liquid at once. That was what the instructions said you had to do to get paid. It was only theft, but the hit had been hard, like being hugged by someone made of razor blades. The pain lingered for weeks. But the BTC showed up in his wallet as promised. It helped Alex survive. He started doing it regularly after that. Quit his job and did Guilt. The website concept was simple. If you felt guilty about something, anything, you could auction off that guilt, or a fraction of it, to one or more bidders who'd suffer it for you. The transactions were anonymous. The reasons for the guilt had to be described, but it didn't matter what they were. If someone was willing to take it, the marketplace facilitated the transaction. Alex had started light but eventually moved on to more lucrative, harder stuff. When he took his first murder guilt, 1/25, he thought he'd die, but he didn't, and the BTC arrived. Then Alex met Angie. She was a fellow student, and he introduced her to the marketplace, starting her off gently but introducing her systematically to harder and harder hits. Angie was good at suffering, better even than he was, and she did it all, tiny fractions of even the most heinous acts. The combined income was good. One day, Angie saw a marketplace listing for something absolutely putrid. Despicable. Abuse and cruelty that was almost unimaginable. Total pot, $25 million. We should take it all. Each do half, she suggested. I couldn't live with myself, said Alex. He meant it. They'd spent the last few weeks trying to game the system, but it seemed impossible. The market was truly free, self-regulating. If you took for $X, you could only resell for $X. That was market value. No gain. Angie completed the $25 million transaction anyway. When the vial arrived, she switched labels and watched Alex inject with what he believed was mere assault. The hit destroyed him. Angie watched him writhe on the floor, muscles tight to the point of snapping, foaming at the mouth, unable to speak as he experienced guilt he was not prepared for. That nobody could be prepared for. Then she brought him a knife. It couldn't be murder, she decided. It had to be suicide. So she put the knife in his hand and encouraged him to kill himself. Finally, he slit his own throat. Then, feeling her guilt begin to rise, she put it up for auction on the marketplace. There were takers. Total pot, $10 million. Only a few days, she told herself. And she suffered horribly, but then the pain was lifted and she was free. She had gamed the system. She had successfully laundered guilt.